Hi guys, today we're going to take a look at the VolanteX Ranger EX FPV plane. Man, that's a mouthful. A big shout out goes to Max over at FPV Style for sending me the plane to take a look at. And I have to say, sort of right out of the chute here, that I was a little concerned when I got the box because it looked like it had gone 12 rounds with Mike Tyson. It wasn't handled very well in its transit from China to beautiful British Columbia. But when I opened the box, I was pleasantly surprised to see that it was really well packed and that there was no damage whatsoever to any of the contents. One of the more interesting features of this plane is that the fuse is made out of PVC plastic, and we'll cover that off a little bit more later. For now, let's just take a look at the bits and pieces that come with the kit. I would say that for the most part, all of the stuff that came with the kit is good. I have a few minor issues that I'd like to take a harder look at, but for the most part, it looks just great. I'm going to reserve judgment on anything that I think might be an issue right now until I get a chance to build the plane up properly and do the maiden. One thing I noticed is that on all of the hinged surfaces, they're very free. They move very easily. There's no break-in required. As a matter of fact, there's so little foam left to form the hinge that you can see daylight through it. And I'm a little bit concerned that maybe it's a little bit too thin. So I'm going to be laminating these wings anyway because I understand that they're prone to a little bit of flexing, especially when you get them loaded down with a lot of weight. The laminating will take care of reinforcing all of the hinges on the control surfaces. One of the really cool things about this plane is that the fuse and tail assembly is all made out of PVC plastic, and it's the same plastic that you'd get at Home Depot when you bought PVC piping. Super tough. It's going to certainly eliminate any hanger rash that would occur normally to a fuse, and I suspect it would handle a crash quite well too. The inside of this plane is just enormous. It's like a small condominium. I mean, you've got a big open floor plan to work with there, and there shouldn't be any complaints about lack of space. Just to give you an idea, I put in 3 4S 5000 lipos in there, and there's room to spare. And you know, again, this fuse is super tough. It's going to take a real beating. I know this is just an unbox video, but I normally try to include a little bit of video of what the plane looks like when it's assembled. So in this case, I just mocked it up to give you a look at it, but my intent is to take it apart and build it out properly. I'll be getting to the build on this just as soon as I can, but I've got a couple of other projects on the bench that I need to get to before I do this one. This plane is, you know, you could just take it up and fly it, I suppose, but there are a number of things that I'd like to do to it before it's maiden. And I'm going to take a little bit of time to laminate all the foam, and then there's a modification to the landing gear that I intend to do just to make it a little more user-friendly with the flying conditions that I have to deal with. But aside from that, I'm really impressed with the plane so far, and I'm really looking forward to getting it in the air. The plan for the first few flights will just be to do some line of sight flying. I won't be putting the FPV gear on it right away. I just want to make sure that I've got the plane sorted out and that it's behaving well. In the first few flights, I'll be searching for the perfect center of gravity for this plane and playing with flap settings and things like that, and slowly adding weight to simulate what this plane will feel like when it's fully loaded with several flight batteries and all the FPV gear. It will also give me a chance to test out the landing gear and make sure that I can take off and land properly with a fully loaded plane. I've seen some videos where takeoffs off grass have been problematic, so I'll be going to larger wheels and reinforcing the area where the gear attaches to the fuse. A couple of guys have torn the gear off on bad landings, and I'm going to be preparing for the worst, because try as we might, not every landing is a perfect landing, especially for me. So as always, I'd just like to thank you all very much for watching, and I'd like to invite you back for when we do the maiden, and I'm just really hoping it goes as well as I think it will. So we'll see you then. Take care and bye-bye for now.